Josh, look, we can't be obsessing so much about these benefits that we get from semen retention. Now, obviously, that's why we're doing it. We're not going to do it if it created negative consequences, although it may seem to for a little while, because it's the ego with its little desires and habits that it can't get those met anymore when we're practicing semen retention. So you can say on some level those are consequences, but we believe that there's a higher good and a higher benefit that's going to be achieved. That's why we're doing it, obviously. That reminds me, you see, this is important. If we're doing it, why are we doing it? Check in. I've talked about this before. Why are we really doing it? Is there a subtle motive in there that the ego actually is behind this whole pursuit of semen retention? It was for me in the past, and it probably is for anybody who's starting at the beginning. That's something we got to transcend. That's cool. God uses that. It's like, okay, we're doing it for the wrong reasons and motives at first, but then later we'll transcend that. That's cool. I'm just trying to accelerate the evolution. I'm trying to bring awareness right now. If you can do the introspection to see, why am I really doing it? Am I doing it because, like all those videos, I can get more female attraction, which is going to throw me more into restlessness and lust, and then I'm going to relapse? That's cool. See, we got to do that to see, like, oh, this doesn't work. You know, oh, I need to transcend this female attraction. See, usually people don't think about that in the beginning. They're just like, I'm going to preserve my semen. And then later we find out more as the process evolves what's really going on here. Semen retention's a big deal. It's almost like a religion or something, you know. I mean, you can't go down this path and not change. You're going to change on all levels. You're going to keep growing in ways that you weren't even expecting when you started on this practice. That's why it's so cool, and that's why I talk about it and make videos about it. That's why I was going to make a channel on diet and all that, but and before I was going to make like 5 channels. Semen retention, spiritual channel, diet, high vibrational diet, and like plant medicine, you know, ayahuasca and all that stuff. But then I realized later, I'm like, no. Well, number one, I didn't feel like doing all that work. It's enough just doing 2 channels, to be honest with you. So, and answering people's questions and comments. And by the way, if I don't answer a question that you leave that's actually important, it means I didn't see it. Sometimes YouTube it doesn't put the questions down. Or if I don't acknowledge your comment, especially if you left a few, I just didn't see it. So, but I realized semen retention and spirituality, that spoke to me the most. I feel those are the most powerful. Plant medicine's cool for a time. You can't do that forever. Semen retention and spirituality, these are ongoing things, you know. Plant medicine isn't. And diet, man, that's just so subjective, and there's so much debate and arguments, and especially the people who are younger and are just starting on some diet, or they just read a bunch of stuff, but they don't have the actual experience with it. And then they try to, you know, proclaim what the absolute truth is. I didn't want to get into all that, you know. Even I make just a couple of videos, I get this slack, you know. You got to have realized experience. Then you're qualified to talk. Otherwise, your opinion really doesn't matter, because you haven't lived long enough and tried this long enough to actually see what's going on and all the angles and things, you know. So what's the topic here? Oh, the benefits. When you obsess too much and always checking like every moment or day, like, okay, what's the benefit? Am I getting benefits? I didn't get a benefit. Oh no. That's creating stress. That's going to make you go back into PMO at some point. Your mind's going to convince you there's no benefits. You got to listen to something deeper inside, something beyond the mind, intuition. I'm making a video on how semen retention can activate intuition. You got to feel on some deeper level that this is your path, that this is good. And it doesn't matter about, there's going to be side effects and stuff from semen retention. There just is. Because the dopamine addiction is a deep addiction. So when we stop that, there's going to be, restlessness and insomnia, and your stomach can hurt and all kinds of things, and maybe depressed, etc. I'm making a separate video on semen retention and side effects, or in anxiety and insomnia, because these are all real things that happen. So then the mind will think, well, this is counteracting the benefits. See, when we feel something, the mind, whatever we feel, if it's bad or good, the mind will say, you're going to feel like this forever. You wake up in the morning and say, I'm feeling down, I'm going to feel like this forever. We forget, like, all these feelings pass, And so then the mind will try to, get a dopamine hit, turn on the computer, look at some stuff that's going to stimulate. Yeah, I feel better now. Yeah, and then you crash, and then the cycle continues. The same though if we're feeling good. We're like feeling really good, and we start wanting to make plans to open up a center for, awakening. And then a few days later, we shift back into we don't have so much energy. This is the play of life. It goes like that, it's a little bit like that. We got to know something beyond that. See, our real self isn't in this virtual reality game. We pay too much attention to these emotions and how we feel, and this we forget this stuff's passing, So if you're obsessing too much about the benefits, you're gonna some days you're not gonna feel it. And then what are you gonna do? If you're in touch with this deeper calling inside, you'll chill. You'll be like, yeah, okay, it's cool, but it's not worth relapsing. Like that's not an option anymore, because you're connected with your deeper self that's having you do this practice, and it doesn't matter how hard it gets. Even you just know, like, this is what I should be doing, and so you just keep doing it. See, if that's the case, you're going to be fine. If you're doing it for some superficial reasons, like, I want to increase my attraction, and then I want girls to notice that, then if that's your main reason, you probably won't do it too long. Unless that burns out, and then this deeper calling to do it activates, and then you'll do it again. And then you'll notice, yeah, I do look a little more attractive. My eyes are a little more shiny. My skin's a little more glowing, because my cells are more regenerated, because I have energy. I have potent energy, and that energy starts regenerating the body everywhere. And so then the inner glow can shine through easier, because the cells are they're not sick, so they can broadcast this signal better. And then the girls notice that. They go, and then you're like, oh, this works. But then that's another trap. You got to be careful. Don't get sucked into that, because then you lose your glow. All right. Let me know if that helped you, and let me know any questions you have. If I don't get to question, if I don't respond, like I said, I didn't see them. All right.